Right then, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to L5 Star FC. It is a Premier League preview. It is Liverpool against Manchester City, and it will take place next Sunday. So this Sunday coming up, 4:30 British time. It is a massive game in the Premier League, and I'm joined alongside Ben to go alongside this one. First and foremost, Ben, how are you doing? How are things, mate? And obviously making another appearance on the show. That's what we love to see.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm glad to be back. It's a big game. This is so. I'm worried, but I just hope that we'll come away with the win, man.
Exactly, boys. Exactly. Big up, Ben. Obviously, we've got Salah to come in as well. So we're gonna look at a few things. We're obviously gonna look at Manchester City. We're obviously gonna look back on the month that we've had. Obviously, if you don't know already, and you've been living in a cave, it is the last day of September. So we're gonna break down the Reds month. Then we're gonna go through some starting 11 predictions, some score predictions, all that and more coming up on L5 Star FC for you today. So obviously, first and foremost, I'd like to just say from all of us, welcome to the preview. And guys, if you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button as well. It really helps our platform. And obviously, if you want to follow or subscribe to the socials, get involved. The links are in the description as well as in the ticker, as you can see under the banner. So we'll get into a little kickoff question. And obviously, the two big games, the standout games that we've had so far, are the Chelsea game and the Manchester City game. Now, obviously, we haven't played the Man City game, but obviously, we didn't win the Chelsea game. If you had to pick one out of the two teams, Ben, to beat, if you had to, avoid losing to the other one, maybe draw to the other one, which one would you pick? So, would you pick win against City and potentially drop points against Chelsea? Or would you win against Chelsea and drop points against City? What would be your ideal situation and why?
I feel like I'd rather drop points against Chelsea, man. I feel like we have to beat City because I just fucking hate Man City, man. Like, they're on my favorite club, they're on my favorite fan base. So yeah, that's it for me.
That is fair enough, and obviously, I get where you're coming from. I mean, it just annoying because they were bored. They were like 10 years ago. The club's the club's 10 years old, and they have the arrogance like they've been around for hundreds and hundreds of 125 years, like we have as well. So that's why I would love to see us beat City on the weekend. However, if you're talking context and you're talking this season, what Chelsea have brought to the team, European champions, yes, Man City won the Premier League. I just feel that Chelsea are a much tougher unit to crack down. And that performance with Chelsea and Man City last week really epitomised how well Man City can still play. So that is a cause for concern going forward. Obviously, Salah's in the building, but obviously he's just a little bit busy. But there he is. Speak of the man, speak of the boy. Hi, Salah, how's it going, mate? Kick-off question to get you started. Would you rather drop points against Chelsea if it means we beat City, or drop points against City if it means we beat Chelsea? What is your ideal scenario and why?
Drop points against City if it means against Chelsea, or what's the other one?
So drop points against Chelsea, which means that you do beat City, or drop points against City.
Are you talking about January game?
No. Over the past few weeks, what would you have taken? So say if we beat Chelsea 1 week and we beat City, which one would feel better and why? So which one would you like to see us win more if we have to pick one team to beat out of the two that I've listed?
Chelsea, because they're fucking racist.
Fair enough. And Salah is in the building. So, please get involved in the chat. Drop some discussions and we will get straight to your comments. We've already got a few in today. Obviously, we'd like to apologise that the Reds, we've fortunately delayed the stream a few times to make sure that we can all make that starting time. We're here now, so you're living in the moment. But we'd just like to apologise for the slight delay. And House of Half, big up, mate. Hope you're doing well. How's it, guys? I'm doing well, mate. And I'm alongside two brilliant, knowledgeable people of football. So we will get straight into it. So obviously we're getting into the preview. So we just want to look at the September. It's been a very decent month for Liverpool. You know, we're still unbeaten. You know, we're scoring 3 goals everywhere we go. We're scoring 3 all the time. And I'd like to come to you, Ben, first. How would you break down the Reds month? Obviously, we had that hiccup at the start last week against Brentford where we conceded 3. But apart from that, it's been a very, very scintillating month for the Reds.
Yeah, man. Like you said, besides the Brentford game, September's been a pretty good month for us. We dominated in most of the games that we played. I feel like it was especially a really good month for Salah. You know, he got on the score sheet in basically in almost every game I think that we played. So that was a good month for him as well. It was good for us to see us take the Norwich game seriously in the cup as well. So yeah, overall, I'm happy with September. I'd like to have many months like this.
Yeah, big up, Ben. Obviously, brilliant points you made there. And what about you, Salah? Obviously, big comment from House of Harvey says beating City at the moment would be tops in response to that kickoff question. Big up, House of Hoff. But also the goals live, guys, big up. He says a great result in the week going into the Man City games. So the Reds would have a lot of confidence. And going on from that, House of Hoff says we have been going well. And the thing is, we have not even hit in 6th gear yet. So obviously, Salah, it's been a brilliant month for the Reds. Obviously, exempt from that draw at Brentford. We all know that we could do better defensively there. But what promising signs can you see? Obviously, House of Hoff has said it there. Looking back on that month, are you happy? Are you optimistic going forward that if we can continue at that trajectory, that we can be successful at the end of the season?
Yeah, hopefully, and hopefully. Of course, the draw against Brentford was not nice, but you're gonna have slip-ups here and there. It's just how you're gonna bounce back from that, and we're gonna see that on Sunday against City if you can bounce back against them at Anfield. But yeah, I think it's been a good month.
Yeah, it has been a good month, and obviously 20 goals scored. I think it's about 6 goals conceded. So obviously a little bit of area of improvement to work for there, but many more clean sheets added to the toll there, and hopefully we continue that strong start into the season at Anfield. And what a game it is going to be! Anfield 4:30, under the lights. You'll have loads of you'll have full house, unlike Man City where they can't fill out this stadium. But you'll have a full stadium. You'll have the whole chance. You'll have everything. It's got everything. It sets up a massive game. So, guys, obviously we're looking at Manchester City now, and this game was a defining week for them. It was a statement week, in my opinion. Getting that Chelsea result was important. It reinstated that, they're here to stay and they're going to push on for trophies this season. But that result midweek reiterated their defensive frailties, and especially against a very good PSG attack. Liverpool have got a very good attack going forward again. Obviously, taking from the last week, Salah, how do you think, looking at Manchester City, do you think that we can beat this team? And do you think it can be a game where we can thrive off, or do you think it'll be a game that we can struggle off based off what you've seen from Manchester City this season?
No, I think it's. I think, of course, they just come off a loss against PSG. They didn't play the best. Let's be honest. They had a few chances here and there, but I think we have to press them. Klopp knows what he has to do. Klopp's done it before. He's got massive results. He won 3-0 in the first half in the Champions League, then got a 3-1 result in the Premier League. The year we won the league. So I think Klopp knows what he has to do to get the win. And I think it's going to be an exciting game. But City haven't been the best. Let's be honest. They haven't had the best start to the season as they normally do. But they also start picking up points, especially that win against Chelsea, as you said. It was very crucial for them, very crucial for us as well. That meant Chelsea dropped points. But yeah, I think it would have been a bit scary if they'd won against PSG on the back of a win against Chelsea, then coming up to get us. But thankfully PSG smoked them, and they they need to really make a point. So yeah, I think Sunday's game is going to be mad.
Yeah, it is going to be mad. And here's a fun fact for you: the first game that we did on L5 Star FC was the Man City home game.
Yeah. I remember
Last
that.
season. I wasn't actually in that vid, but I think Alex was in there. You were in there,
You were in
Salah,
the reaction.
Charlie. Yeah, I was in the reaction. That was my first vid. But man, boy, if we come along as a channel, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, obviously going on from what Salah said, Ben, you obviously broke down that Man City still have frailties, but they still have statement players that can, change that game. We all know how brilliant Kevin De Bruyne is. We all know how brilliant Jack Grealish can be on his day. We all know that, Mahrez, Sterling, these are players that, look, they can be hot and cold on times, but when they're on their day, they can be very good players. Do you think, looking at Manchester City and seeing what they have done so far, obviously going from last season as well, because they did have a very poor start, but did go on to win some trophies. Do you think that, from what you've seen, this Man City team has enough to win trophies this season?
I feel like they can win trophies because they're still Man City and they still have a good side, but they aren't the same beast that they were 2 years ago, 3 years as well. That win against Chelsea really just kind of reminded everyone that they're still here and they're still a force to be reckoned with, man. So I feel like it's going to be a tough game. We did the most Liverpool thing that we could do, and we made it difficult for ourselves because if we'd won the Brentford game, it would have maybe been, we could have had that cushion to say, okay, if we don't win, we can still be top of the table end of the game week. But yeah, man, I feel like they're still City, so they still can win trophies, and it's still going to be a tough game. But it is Anfield, so last year they took their chance.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously, you just gone there, mate. So what we're going to do is, brilliant points that you did make there. But obviously, we are going to look at, Salah. Is this a title decider? Whoever wins this game, does it affect the title race? We obviously know that I think it's Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man United in no particular order. But those are the 4 teams that are going to contend for the title. Does this... what do you answer to that question? Is this a title decider, or is it too early? But does it impact the title race in a massive way? I'm going to start with myself, and I think it's not necessarily a title race, title decider, but I think it will impact the title race because I feel getting that statement performance will provide that psychological boost going forward. If we go into the game, we win this game, that's a psychological boost above Manchester City. Going on from that Chelsea game, maybe that draw benefited Chelsea more psychologically because they stopped us from scoring. Yes, we all have our ifs and buts, and look, we didn't like the way they played, especially if they're European champions. You'd expect them to put a bit more of a fight, and I think the fact that they were celebrating towards the end really did cause the fan base to go into a little bit of bitterness. But obviously, we're over that now. But I think it is a statement performance, and I do think it's a psychological gain above your competitors. And I think if Liverpool draw this, I really think that Man City and Chelsea have got 2 brilliant results and really have, got that gain over Liverpool. I really do think it puts us on the back foot if we drop points to City. So I do think it impacts it massively, but I don't think it decides the title. Would you necessarily agree with that, Salah, or would you like to add to that, or do you disagree?
No, I partially agree. I think the draw against Brentford has really put us in a situation where we have to go all out for the City game, because if we had won against Brentford and say we actually tried our best on Sunday and say we got a draw against City, I would have not been that fast. But that draw against Brentford means that we cannot afford to lose points again. That will be 4 points lost in 2 games and only 2 points gained, which isn't that good. Like, say if City win, it would have been 3 out of 3 and they got top. So it's not that good, but we have to win. I don't think it's going to decide the title this early. There's still a lot of games, of course, going back to see at the Etihad. Still have the Chelsea game at Stamford Bridge. So I think there's still a long way to go until the title race deciders come around. But again, I can't show how much of a must-win this game is on Sunday, honestly.
Yeah, big up Salah, and obviously some absentees for this game. We have Trent obviously confirmed as out. I did have a little indication that from the international break, the England selection, he wasn't picked. So I had a general idea that he potentially wasn't available. But, Klopp's confirmed that as well. Thiago's also ruled out for this City game. We also know Harvey Elliott's an absentee as well. But Ben, obviously, going on from what I asked Salah, is this a title race decider or does it impact the title race? And obviously, going on from the injuries, the absentees, does that affect how the game will pan out on Sunday?
I would say it does affect the title race massively because Chelsea are also going to have their eye on this game. But I don't think it's a title decider necessarily because of the fact that Chelsea is also in the race. It's not City and us like how it was a few years ago.
Fact.
But in terms of injuries, I feel like Trent obviously not being available is obviously a huge blow. But other than that, Thiago as well. I mean, because we've seen how good he is, like controlling the tempo of a game. But we've had him; he's been out for quite a while now, so I feel like we kind of learned or kind of got used to playing without him for this while. Trent, like I said, it's a huge blow, but we still have Milner, who he's not Trent, but he is quality. And you could argue that he is a bit better defensively. I mean, the experience that he has and all that. So I feel like someone could say that he's more suited for this game with the attacking quality that Man City have. But yeah, if Trent was fit, I would still play him. But yeah, I think that Milner is not bad having him in the team at all. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, Ben. Big up there, and obviously, we had that point pointed out by L5 Star FC. Trent and Thiago are ruled out for this game. So, Salah, I'd like to ask you, James Milner, Jack Grealish, how is this panning out? Obviously, I think James Milner will rough him up, but Jack Grealish likes to invite the fouls. He likes to create set pieces. And with the delivery of De Bruyne, is this a problem going forward? Obviously, we struggled last week with dealing with the crosses. And I feel if James Milner's on that right-hand side, he's going to invite Jack Grealish is going to invite him in. Do we have to brush up on our aerial duels for this game? Because that is going to play a massive part if James Milner's playing, because he's going to foul Jack Grealish a few times, I reckon. You're on mute, mate. You're on mute, bro.
I wouldn't say it necessarily hurts us going forward, but Milner has to be careful because Grealish, although he had a stinker against PSG, not a stinker, he didn't have the best of games against PSG, against Hakimi, but that's Hakimi. This is Milner. There's a big drop off. No disrespect to Milner. So I think Milner has to be disciplined. He was mostly disciplined when he came against Zaha, and people said he would have got red that game. I'm surprised how he never got yellow, to be honest. He got yellow really, really late on. So yeah, don't think it'll happen in the game against Manchester City. So yeah, he just has to be up there for. He has to be concentrating, not ball watching like sometimes he does, and hopefully you'll pocket Grealish. But when Grealish wins fouls, City haven't really seemed to be converting from it. Although they have De Bruyne on set pieces, I think our every threat is one of the best in the league. And whoever plays Van Dijk, Konate, Van Dijk, Matip, they'll easily be able to deal with City's aerial threat. So yeah.
Yeah, big up Salah, and obviously big up to the people. Pro Clubs Goals reckons Grealish will be in Milner's back pocket. You gotta love that. But Goals Lives guy says would be huge if we could get 3 points against the Manx. It would be a massive 3 points. And backing up from that, obviously smash that like button, Reds. You know what to do. Naham says if we get 3 points, would that make us the team to beat? I'll start first. I think it does. I really do think that makes us the team to beat. We're still unbeaten in the league. We'll still be top of the league. I really do think that makes us team to beat. the team to beat. Obviously, going into the international break, I think it's important that we end strong. I think if we end potentially on a downer, it's a very long international break, isn't it? Especially after going on from a loss, because you almost want to instantly, resurrect that, and you almost want to rectify the situation. And that's why, the Brentford game, we were so excited for the Porto game, so we could try and get some form of, rectify that sort of performance. So, I'll ask you, Ben, if we get 3 points, would that make us the team to beat? I wouldn't say it wouldn't make us the team to beat if we didn't go on and win, would it?
Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't make us the team to beat if we didn't win. But if we would, then I feel like all eyes would be on us now, because we're still the only unbeaten team in the league. And I feel like a lot of people have written us off after last year. So us winning this game would kind of just be a statement that, we're back and we're ready to fight for the title.
Yeah, 100%. And the Goals Live guy says, I like us being the underdogs, but if we beat City, we won't be anymore. That is the thing. Do we want to be the hunted or the hunters? And I think, you got to play what games in front of you. You got to go on and try and win the 3 points. And, every 3 points is an extra 3 points. And, that's when we won the league, we were being hunted for a large part of the season because we were consistently churning result out week on week out. So we've just got to adopt that mentality, grind games out when they're not playing well. Because let's be frank, we're not going to get games where we're winning 3-0 every single week. We're going to have to churn out games here and there. So we need to adopt that mentality going forward. And I thought Brentford would be a lesson if we were to go on and win. I thought it was a really good lesson that, we need to get back into that rhythm of grinding games out, because that is so important. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take a very quick break, and we're going to come back and do some starting 11 predictions. So see you in 30 seconds. Right then, welcome back. So we're going to do some starting 11 predictions. Usually we would do a separate vid where we are obviously talking about it, but instead we are doing it live so you guys can interact, chip in with your starting 11 predictions and your predictions going forward. And we'll start with you, Salah. We'll go for your lineup. So you've gone for Alisson, Milner, Van Dijk, Joel Matip, Robertson, Fabinho, Curtis Jones or Naby Keita, which we will come to.
It's different. It's Jones, 100%, but Naby or Henderson.
Oh, right, okay. So Naby or Henderson, Salah, Mane, or Firmino. So, how would you assess them? And do you think that team hasn't the criteria to go on and win?
I think Alisson, Milner's the only guy that can start. Although I want to see Konate, I think, say if he gets ripped apart, it's a bit too early for him to start one of the biggest game, probably the biggest game of our season. Gomez is not fully 100% as well, so Matip and Van Dijk for me. Robertson doesn't lose his place from the Champions League, played exceptional. Fabinho is the Hoover. Jones does not deserve to be dropped, as we said in the reactions and ratings. If he is dropped, it's just criminal, because he deserves it. He's been playing world class for the past 2 games, and it's only right if he starts against C, because he also played decent against C last year at Anfield. Although there was no fans, he still played good. The reason I've gone with Naby/Henderson, although I'm not the biggest Naby Keita fan, I think he somehow deserves to start this game, and I think he will start this game. It's just a matter of if it's for Jones or if it's for Henderson. And I think it will be for Jones, but I don't want it to be for Jones because, again, he does not deserve to be dropped. But the thing with Henderson is a lot of people won't say it, but his performance against Porto was below average. It was not that good. It was not the Henderson that we're used to seeing. It was the Henderson that had his little patch, hoofball every time, took too many touches on the ball. didn't cover enough for Milner when he went forward. And like, if he's gonna play like that against City, hoof ball every time, Diaz head away, counter attack. Milner goes forward when he needs to sometimes. Henderson's going to go forward with him spacing behind. We can't afford to do that against C. But I think in the same way, Keita also doesn't know how to cover for the right-sided side. We saw that against Real Madrid, and he just can't do it. And I don't think Curtis Jones has the footballing brain to do it. So I think that's my preferred. But I think he will start Henderson and Keita, but I want Henderson to be dropped, but I don't think tactically it would be the right decision. And the front three, Firmino, he's backfiring in such a big game. He's going to be needed. I'm going to drop Jota for this one. He's had 6 games on the bounce, and Firmino deserves to start this game.
Yeah, fair enough. And obviously, we'll go into the comment section. So, Pro Club's Goals reckons Hendo, Fab, and Naby in midfield for me. Jones needs a rest, in my opinion. And what
there's like, he's only played 2 games. There's no point of a rest. He's not an injury-prone player as well. Like, if you played class for 2 games, surely you build on that, and you go up against a very big team where you're going to be tested against Manchester City, and then you can see his class is really up there if he performs against Manchester City on Sunday, say he starts. So there's no point of saying he needs a rest. It's because he's only played 2 games. He only played Brentford, which wasn't even a full 90-minute, and he also played Porto, which was a 90-minute game. So he's only played that 1.5 games. So I don't really think he needs a rest. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the bench as well, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. And obviously, we will go to even more comments. Hauserhoff says Alisson, Milner, VVD, Matip, and Robbo. That's his defence. He's gone for Keita, Fabinho, and Henderson. And then up front, he's gone for Mane, Jota, and Salah. Not much wrong, and I don't think there'll be many changes, if any, off what Hauserhoff says. Carbot Battles have said if after Firmino scored 2 goals against Porto, he deserves a start against Man City. Has to start over Jota. Jota missed lots of chances in that Porto game.
I agree 100%.
You can't argue against that. I agree. He missed too many chances for my liking. And Firmino come on, scored 2 goals. He's in form. And he has a good record against Manchester City, so why not play him? Obviously, Ben, we'll go into yours. Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip, so the same defence as Salah's. You've gone for Fabinho, Henderson, Jones, Mane, Firmino, and Salah. So, Ben, how would you, like I asked Salah, do you agree that, if we start that midfield trio and that attacking trio, that we will go and win the game? Because I think it's all fair to say, and I think you'd all both agree with me that defence is not going to be much change from that defence.
Yeah. I was actually a bit torn because I wanted to go for 4-2-3-1, but I personally feel like that formation's retired, man. So that's what I think Klopp will go with. I think he'll go with Henderson because it's just this is the type of game for him, man. Like, Henderson always pulls through in these big games. So, and Klopp really trusts him. So even if he did have a below average game in the week, he'll probably still come into this team, and he might even give us a man of the match performance. So let's just hope. Curtis Jones, I feel like honestly just deserves to play, man. Like he's been showing us his class, man. So I don't see the reason why he would, be dropped for this game just for Naby to come in after Naby hasn't played in quite a long time. But yeah, and then in terms of the front three, everybody's been saying it. Firmino came in, scored 2 goals. So I feel like he'll come in for Jota, who's been missing a few chances lately, man.
Yeah, fair enough, and obviously can't agree more. Car Battle says, I want Hendo to start. We need him in this sort of game. And obviously going off before I obviously go over mine, I think it's worth mentioning. I think we can all agree it's Curtis Jones out of Naby. But I think, it's very difficult, that midfield 3, and I think it's competitive, and it's so good for a reason. Because we're out with Thiago, I think we can all agree that, Fabinho's position is nailed on. There's no one better who can do that position unless he's obviously injured. You obviously have Henderson, the captain, who you've got to really start to have that significance in the game, that mentality, that leader. I think, especially if there's no Trent, you need them big assets, and I think he's important for this game, Henderson. But I think that third position opens it up, especially with Thiago out injured, for the likes of Naby, Curtis, Alex, as Oxlade-Chamberlain, as the Goals Live guys have said. So, I would pick Curtis because he's just been on form. You can't expect Naby to come straight into form against Manchester City when he's been out for, was it 10 days? So, especially in a competitive game where the midfield's going to be run ragged, City are likely to probably have more possession because every time we play them, they always seem to have the bulk of possession, or it's about 50-50. They're the only team really in the league that, has, beats us on possession stats. So I think we need an intense competitive midfield. And I think Curtis offers that. He's a scouser through and through. We need them sort of players to get us through the game. Would you agree, Salah?
Yeah, I think, bro, that someone's just commented based on form is Curtis and overalls. Naby, he's hit the nail on the head. I think I was gonna say the exact same. I think right now in form, Curtis Jones is amazing. I think he's probably one of the best youngsters in the world on form. One of the best. I'm not saying he's the best. Don't come for me. He's one of the best youngsters on form right now in the world. No one can debate for that. You don't come off a Champions League game getting 3 assists and have an absolutely sick game against Brentford, scoring a screamer. And yeah, he's one of the best youngsters on form right now. He's one of the best youngsters in the world, either way. But on form, he's up there already. But yeah, Naby, his ability absolutely amazing. You can't deny that. But it's just the availability issue, and sometimes he's just not up for it. So yeah, overall Naby, but on form is Curtis. And yeah, I agree. I think Curtis is going to be key in this game against City. The way he carries that ball, the way he dribbles that ball. The only thing I would say is that, again, what Carl says it perfectly. He takes a bit too much touches, and against City, that will cost you if you take too many touches. You have to get the ball 1 or 2 touches and release the ball nicely.
Yeah, brilliantly said. And obviously, before we go into my score prediction and starting 11, that is my channel right there. So smash that subscribe button to there as well. But if you're not subscribed, first and foremost, to L5 Star FC, what are you doing? Smash that like button and smash that subscribe button for more Liverpool content. We keep you up to date with the most recent news, the games, post-match shows, previews. Obviously, we've implemented new live shows as well. So, guys, if you hit that like button, it really helps the platform and it gives us more interaction with you guys going forward, and it creates a better discussion. So if you guys do your bit, it's a better discussion and a discussion that you'll enjoy further. So like I said before, please feel free to get involved in the discussion and drop a few comments down below. Big up to everybody who's in the building, you absolute legends. But we will go to my starting 11 prediction, which includes, let me just find it. I've gone for Alisson, Milner, Matip, Van Dijk and Robertson, though I would prefer to see Tsimikas. Now, let me explain that. I would like to see Tsimikas because I'm just frustrated for him that, he's done so well in the games that he's played. Yes, Robbo played amazingly against Porto, but I don't think from that performance alone, he's done enough to cement that place. I think Tsimikas over the start of the season has proved more than Robertson has, but I think Klopp will pick Robertson because of obviously what Robertson's done for the club, his consistency, his energy, what he brings to us going forward, as well as defensively. And that is why I think we will see him play. Though, if you said to me who's on form, Tsimikas, and when you have to play players who are in form, because at the end of the day, you're going to have to rely on players to get the result that you want. You don't want to be picking players out of just because of their name. You want to be picking players that you rely on that are in form to do the job. And Tsimikas, you can't look any further than him. but I think he'll start Robertson, obviously, as it is a starting 11 prediction. The midfield, I think he will go with Fabinho in the 6. That's nailed on. Don't think there's a change there. Jones and Henderson, over the past week, Jones has proved what a brilliant player is on form. Obviously, going back to, I think it may have been the Pro Club's goals or someone in the comments.
Russian.
Yeah, that was it. Big up Russian. He says Naby Keita is one of the best when it's performance and consistency, but not reliability facts. And he said based on form, it's Curtis, and overall it's Naby Keita. That was the comment I was alluding to. But that is the player that I want to see played in this game because he's on form. Why are we picking Jones? Because he's on form. So why can't we pick Tsimikas? Because Tsimikas is on form, just like Jones is. Do you know what I'm trying to get to, boys? But obviously, the strike force, you obviously have Hendo in. Salah, Firmino, Mane. That is what I would go for. Firmino done his job in the midweek. I think for me, Jota's missing too many chances of recent. Can he make an impact in this game? 100% he can. But like I said, Firmino's done his job. He's back with a bang last Wednesday. So why not? Pro Club's goal says, I don't even think Robertson played that well against Porto. He did all right, but I would prefer Tsimikas right now, to be honest. And yeah, I agree with some aspect of that comment, but big up to yourself. House of Hoff says, would you give possession to City and play on the counter and be more clinical with our chances? Ben, I'll ask you this, mate. Would you give the possession to City? Obviously, you've got to play what is in front of you, but you've got to play your game plan and make changes to that in different areas to suit how the game will go. But obviously, what would you do? Would you let City play their game, or would you try and play your game and be dominant in how you'd play? Ben, we'll ask Ben.
Shit. I don't know. I don't think my heart can take City dominating the game because we just know how deadly they are in possession, man, and we know that we aren't really a team that can park the bus. So I don't think I'd take that at all, man. But I mean, it would be entertaining though. It would kind of be like a flashback to 17, 18, man.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And what about you, Salah? Obviously, from your reaction to that, I don't think you agree with that, and I'd agree with you. But would you, reacting to that comment, would you give the possession to City and just let them play their game?
First of all, I want to say Liverpool and clinical should not be in the same sentence. We are not clinical. We are not the type of team that plays on the counter-attack. When we get a chance, there's only one man that should be referred with clinical, and that's Salah.
Yes, sir.
He's the only, week in, week out, he's the only clinical player in that team, if you're really talking honestly. But I think, again, I think there's going to be a few tweaks to the way we play because, of course, Trent is out. Probably our most main creator. Of course, Milner's not the best of creators. So that's why I think Klopp's going to have to change his game up a bit. But I don't want to give possession to City. I want to press them, put them under pressure. And just get a few goals, hopefully. But we would never ever play counter. Although we play counter-attacking football at times, that's only on set pieces. Our game's not based around counter-attacking football. It's only small parts of it.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Big up to yourself. And obviously, we will wrap up the show now. So we'll go through the score predictions, and we'll start with you, Salah. You have gone 2-1. Liverpool win. Break it down. How's the game going to go, mate?
I think we'll start with full of energy. Crowd's going to lift us up. Full of energy. Going to miss a few chances. 1-0 City. City going to nick a goal. Raheem Sterling. He's going to slide. And then
is he going to need slide in front of the cop first half?
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about us. No, he does. But to the fans of Liverpool, whoever got into the stadium, they disrespected him. And do you think he's going to show respect? Nah, I don't think he will. I think Sterling will get the goal. 1-0, going to go into half-time, 1-0. Come out half-time, 50th minute. I'm going to go Mane. Mane will get one. Later on, I think the man of the moment, the man, the myth, the legend, Mohamed Salah. I think he's going to win the game for us. So he's going to score a penalty. And yeah, he'll win this game.
Fair play. 3 points. That's all that matters. Guys, get involved with your score predictions. And I'm going to say it how it is. We'll come to mine and then we'll go to Ben's. But I'm going to say it with my chest puffed out. It's another 3-0 win, boys. It's another 3-0 win.
Okay.
Come on, boys. Nah, to be fair, I think that Anfield crowd's going to lift us up. We need that performance at Anfield, which really, really lifts people's eyebrows, neutrals in the Premier League, lifts pundits' eyebrows. I want Gary Neville's eyebrows to be sitting in Sky Sports studio on Sunday with his eyebrows raised after all the doubts he's put at Liverpool. I want to see Roy Keane's. I want to see Ferdinand's. I want to see Souness because he's doubted us as well. I want to see Merson. I want to see every single pundit involved with the footballing world to have their eyebrows raised. And I think a performance like this on the edge of an international break, we're still unbeaten. I think, I'm saying it with my chest, Liverpool will win the game 3-0. It'll be another 3-0 win, clean sheet, energy. Salah to get 2 goals. And I think Firmino, brilliant record against Manchester City. I think Firmino will crop up with a goal. Actually, Hendo will get a goal. This is Hendo's game, boys. But obviously, Ben will come to you, and he's gone for another clean sheet. He's gone for a 2-0 win. How do you think he'll go, mate?
Before I get to that, I just remembered something. I think the last time we played City before an international break was when
3-1.
When Sterling got kicked out of England's camp. So
that's right.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping we can have a performance like that, man. But yeah, I think that the Anfield crowd will definitely lift us. So I think we'll score an early goal. I think I'm gonna say Firmino to score an early goal, maybe in the first 20 minutes. And then I think Salah will score in the last 20 minutes. That's how I think it's going to go, man.
Yeah, fair enough, Ben. And obviously, like you said there, the 20-minute mark is going to be electric. Do you think it's important that we score that goal in the first 20 minutes, Ben?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like us scoring early will just lift the crowd even more. Because what we don't want is, us, taking our time on the ball and not putting away our chances, and then that would kind of kill the atmosphere in a way.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, it's important. It's emphatic that we make that start in the league. But obviously, get involved with your score predictions. We will wrap up the video now. It's been a brilliant show, guys. Big up to every single one of you that has tuned in at some point. Pro Clubs Goals goes for a 4-1 win. House of Hoff says 2-2 draw. Big up to yourself. Salah's gone for a 2-1 win. Ben has gone for a 2-0 win. The Goals Live guys has gone for 2-0 to the Reds. I've gone for 3-0. It's an emphatic performance by the Reds, and it's going to have that statement performance, and it is going to all be signed off with a brilliant display at Anfield. Make sure that you check out my channel, which is Crop Talk TV. Make sure you smash that like button and that subscribe button to L5 Star FC. Also, Rashan has gone for 3-0 LFC. Big up yourself, Rashan. Brilliant points by the chat. Brilliant points by the lads alongside me again today. And please remember, if you are interested in seeing the Porto player ratings, go over and check out the player rating show now where Salah and Ben go over them. I think a match reaction is soon to be uploaded. So plenty of content for you guys to dip your hand in some popcorn and watch us react to it. So obviously, guys, big up to yourselves. Obviously, any final words going forward for this game? Any messages to this Liverpool team?
Hopefully we win, man. Honestly, just want them to go outside, give it all they got. Of course, it's going to be a tough game, but hopefully we can just come away with the 3 points and go to the top of the table again.
Yeah, brilliant. What about you, Ben? Anything you'd like to add before we end it?
Just gonna be a fucking tough game, man. I just hope we can
Come on.
Come on, boys. That's all I have to say, man. This is really the only game where I really say that I do stress, but yeah, man, I'm just hoping we fucking give it all, man.
Yeah, big up to everybody. Milner's going to give hell to Grealish. Grealish is in Milner's pocket. We are Liverpool and we move. You'll never walk alone. Guys, have a smashing day. Have a smashing week. And we will see you shortly after the Manchester City game to go over it. Over and